somebody somewhere will comment and say, Obama politicized this issue. Well, this is something we should politicize. It is relevant to our common life together, to the body politic.
President Barack Obama either did exactly what he was supposed to do as commander-in-chief, or he once again took the opportunity of a disaster to score political points. Wait, isn't that what every politician does every time he or she opens their trap about something in the news? Let's begin there with the final political animal of the week. From the left, once termed a Democratic prankster by the media in Tampa, which has on occasion been called a massive joke on its own right, Franco Ripple. And from the right, to this day, an example of how Hollywood gets it all wrong. He was not Emmy nominated for his performance in the HBO drama Recount about the Florida elections, Bradley Blakeman. See, these guys don't know that I know their past. Gentlemen, here we go. We got a couple things to get to here real fast. First to you, Brad. The president says they're going to accuse me of politicizing the Oregon shooting. Doesn't every politician do that, though, Brad?
No, and they should not. But the president, on his watch, has had more mass shootings than any president in American history. And you got to start reflecting on the president. Why, Mr. President, have you not led on this issue on mental health and reasonable gun control by challenging the Congress, by issuing your own legislative agenda? You failed to do that. So what's become commonplace, unfortunately, is being done on your watch because a lot of it is due to your rhetoric, but inaction.
All right, Brad, I'm going to leave that with you for the moment. And here we go, Franco, because I'm going to go to a different kind of a politicization here, if you will. Because now a close advisor to the Pope claims that the pontiff was exploited by Kim Davis and her attorney, that there really was no meeting, as they said, and that they're basically using this to politicize their agenda. Come on, that's pretty skullduggerous, isn't it?
Oh, boy. I mean, now that we have the facts about the supposed Kim Davis meeting, holy mackerel. I mean, was she telling the truth about meeting the Pope? All the signs point to no, absolutely not. The Vatican embassy supposedly made a mistake for inviting her in the first place, but she was one of dozens of people in a line to briefly greet the Pope. But the fact that Davis and her husband are now lying about the length of time that they spent with the Pope, as well as his support for her abhorrent position that is against law, any law, I don't know what she's thinking. The truth always comes out.
Come on, Brad. That's pretty despicable if you're using the Pope to get along your own political line either way. Come on.
Well, I think there's some culpability here on the Vatican. You don't get to see the Pope without an invitation. And the fact that she was invited in a larger group doesn't take away the fact that she didn't get in that room unless the Vatican invited her.
Yeah, but you have to admit, though, Brad, that the way they presented this, Davis and her attorney presented this early on, was as if there was an audience with the Pope. That's a lie.
There's no question about it, and yet the truth always comes out, doesn't it? So if they thought they could get away with that the Vatican was not going to push back, it shows their naivete. But also, the Vatican invited her. They invited her for a reason, and maybe it wasn't the outcome they wanted, but it was the outcome they got.
Okay, 30 seconds to you both. First of all, to you, Franco, Donald Trump says, if my poll numbers fall, I'll drop out. You believe him?
Well, I mean, this whole thing has just been about, Trump being Trump in the first place. No, I don't think he would drop out. I think he would back out on his pledge to be a Republican and support the Republican, and I think he would be an independent. It'd be interesting to see, and I'm sure Hillary would invite him to her inauguration in 2017.
That'd be a little frightening. I'm hearing them already starting to go at each other. You liked me. No, you liked me first. No, you didn't like me then. It's back and forth. 30 seconds. Here we go, Brad. A new Pew poll shows that Jeb Bush is down to 4% in the numbers. I'm going to hate to say it. I know you'll disagree with me, but come on. Is he toast now?
No, he's not toast, and he's got the ability to hang in there and wait for this Trump wave and the Carson wave to pass on through. But Jeb needs to understand that his message needs to be more authentic, and he's got to be strong, and he's got to be as determined as his adversaries are. And unless he can get restarted in the next few weeks, it's going to be a rough time in the primary states coming up after the first of the year.
Remember, everybody go find HBO on Netflix or someplace, get on demand, and go watch Recount this weekend. We'll talk about Brad's performance next week. Whew. Wait for that one. Franco Ripple, Bradley Blakeman, gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right, the issue is Syria, as it has been for thousands of years. The expert next on The Hardline.